hear me okay? Great. Hi, I'm Alice. I'm from what3words. I don't know how many of you know about what3words, are using what3words, or know what what3words is about. But what3words essentially was built out of the idea that addressing around the world today simply isn't good enough for talking about the things we want to go to, see, or get things delivered to. For a start, many of the world's most epic places and our favorite places don't even have an address. And that can make it really difficult to describe maybe exactly where you're camping at a festival, to describe exactly where to meet your friend in a crowd, or to describe can't seem to get my clicker to work, but to describe that epic spot where you're mooring your boat at that epic floating concert. Maybe. I don't know if any of you have ever been to an epic floating concert, but apparently these things exist. And then when it comes to the kind of places... Sorry, I'll just give you a nod. Next. No. Yep. When it comes to the places that we assume and think would be really easy to find, and I'm talking about really large venues like stadiums, they're still actually quite difficult when you think about the fact that actually the address drops a pin right in the center of the building instead of a specific entrance. And that's only really helpful if you're planning to land a helicopter right on the center line, which I doubt any of us are planning on doing. And it turns out the world is actually a pretty difficult place to get around. And that's because street addressing is often duplicated. There are many street names that have the same name. In London alone, there are 12 church roads. This example, quite conveniently located just around the corner from our office, shows how to find number 7 Warrington Gardens, you actually have to head over to Warwick Avenue. Very confusing. Similarly, postcodes, particularly in rural parts of the UK, cover really, really broad areas. And that means they won't necessarily direct you right to the front door or the place you're trying to get to. They'll actually end up taking you maybe 500 meters or even up to half a mile away. And that's why you often get these kind of quite frustrating, irate instructions to not put the postcode in the sat-nav, or like, oh, sat-nav is broken, please don't use the postcode. The postcode won't get you where you need to go. And instead you get these long stream of frustrating, overcomplicated, very difficult to use directions and instructions. That's where what3words comes in. Ooh. That's where what3words comes in. This normally animates, but it's not going to. What we've done is we've divided the world into 3-meter squares and given every single square in the world its own unique 3-word address. And what that means is that people can now talk about any precise 3-meter location using just 3 simple words. The idea for what3words came about when our co-founder and CEO, Chris Sheldrick, who worked in the live events industry, planning live events all around the world, got sick and tired of trying to get people, deliveries, things, objects to the right place, and found that they just kept on getting lost, kept up not showing up, or just simply not arriving exactly where he needed them to. So he wanted to come up with a solution that took the precision, power, and accuracy of GPS coordinates and converted it into a much more human-friendly, simple-to-use format. And that's where the 3-word address was born. So the idea of a 3-word address is that people can communicate any precise 3-by-3-meter square using just 3 random dictionary words. And this idea of being what3words is available and free to use for anyone via our mobile app or on our map site, what3words.com. And this idea of being the simplest way to communicate location kind of runs through the core of our technology. So we've designed features like the auto-suggest feature, which will basically return a set of very intelligent results dependent on your location. So you can still select a correct square, even if you maybe mistype it or spell something incorrectly or mishear the 3-word address that you're trying to use. Similarly, we've built a lot of intelligence into the system itself so that similar sounding or spelt combinations of 3-word addresses are placed as far apart as possible. So, for example, if you were trying to find table, chair, lamps on the east coast of the USA, but instead you typed table, chair, lamp, It's probably very unlikely that you would attempt to even navigate halfway around the world. You'd hope, at least. And as we're on a mission to create a new global addressing standard, that means we want a system that is as very easy to use and accessible to as many people as possible. So what we've done in English, we've also done in over 37 languages. And that means that over 4 billion people around the world can use what3words in at least one of their country's official languages, which is really quite amazing. As more people use what3words in their own native language or not, so too do more businesses start using what3words. And to date, we're used by thousands and thousands of businesses in over 170 countries. And these businesses come from a range of different industries, whether that's automotive, logistics, who are using what3words to improve last mile and efficiencies, navigation platforms that are using 3-word addresses to help people specify kind of specific pick-up or drop-off points, travel companies, events companies, and humanitarian companies who are using what3words to deliver aid in places that need it most. As more businesses use what3words, so too do 3-word addresses start appearing more frequently in the places that you'd expect to find a traditional address or look up a traditional address. And that includes things like website pages, business directories, business cards, email signatures, and then beautiful kind of travel guides like The Lonely Planet. This is a picture of the Lonely Planet Mongolian edition, and travelers visiting the country can just literally look up destinations they want to visit using 3 words. Similarly, many hotel brands and chains around the world are adding 3-word addresses to their website pages and updating their listings with a 3-word address so that travelers can make sure they find the front entrance to their hotel as easily as possible. As more and more 3-word addresses are appearing in the world, people can start to use a 3-word address in the very things that get them from A to B. That includes Mercedes-Benz, which as of last year became the very first car company in the world to launch a navigation system with what3words built in. So now lucky drivers of Mercedes cars can just step in their vehicle, say, "Hey Mercedes, take me to Filled Count Soap," and get directions straight there. Have no idea if this is going to work, but here's a video. We'll give it a try.
Hey Mercedes.
Yes, please.
Take me to what3words, lanes, larger, daring.
Select an entry, please.
1.
Do you want to start route guidance?
Start route guidance.
Start of route guidance.
Pretty cool if you own a Mercedes. We've also done the same with Ford, so that integration works slightly differently, and they've got an app, the Ford App Link, so if you connect your phone to the car, you can use what3words again by text input or by voice and get directions to any 3-word address. Also, ride-hailing platforms around the world are integrating what3words into their tools, solutions, and systems so that, again, drivers can specify accurate pickup and drop-off points and get exactly where they need to go in just 3 words at a time. We're used by Cabify, which is Latin America's largest ride-hailing app, ride-hailing apps in Saudi Arabia and the Middle East, a couple of apps in Japan, and a few local taxi apps around the UK are also starting to use what3words, which is really exciting. Just to show the kind of huge diversity of the kind of use cases where what3words is being implemented and used successfully, what3words is also being used by many UK emergency services around the UK to locate 999 callers faster. In these parts of the country, people in the event of an emergency can call 999, say, "I'm at Loud Fame Sport," and get help to that exact location. It's really amazing to see the kind of stories that are emerging literally every single day about how what3words is helping emergency services to save precious time, resources, and lives, whether it's to kind of locate car accidents or my favorite. This was a paraglider who used the what3words app while stuck 40 foot high up in a tree to tell emergency services where he needed to be rescued. Pleased to say he got down safely. This is also an example of a 999 call from Bedfordshire Fire and Rescue Services to show you how it's working. or not. But basically, if you can imagine how the system would work, you would call 999, you'd be able to give your 3 words, and help would be dispatched to that exact location. It's not a very interesting incident, so we can move on. And so kind of moving on to why I'm here to talk today, which is how what3words could help to make your event safer, more efficient, and better for everyone. From an event's kind of emergency and security point of view, it's as easy probably as asking the emergency services working at your event whether they are already using what3words, or equally talking to your event safety and security teams and finding out, do you know about the free what3words app? Are you comfortable with receiving a 3-word address? Could you use it in your emergency response? And then being able to implement it right away. This shows the power of kind of how emergency services can drive public awareness about the what3words app and also promote better safety awareness at your events. West Yorkshire Police, for example, used this ahead of Leeds Festival. Avon and Somerset Police and South Western Ambulance Service did a big campaign before Glastonbury Festival this year, and it's really helping to keep people safe at festivals. If you're an event organizer, driving awareness about what3words by promoting the app on social media is again another easy win, to just tell your event attendees that you can improve your experience with this free tool. It already exists, download it on your phone, and it might save you time so you can enjoy more this event has to offer instead of wasting your time searching for friends. With the free what3words app, people can far more easily find the right entrance to get to their seat in the quickest way possible. Can't really remember what that picture was, but they could use it to tell their friends where they're camping. They could use it to find that kind of hidden spot or that secret location where you're hosting an all-exclusive pop-up. And you can just about see that tweet still appearing on the screen, which is showing how people are already really engaged with the concept and kind of encouraging event organisers to use it. It says something along the lines of, super helpful staff, but this place is a maze. I wish you used what3words. And a lot of event organisers are kind of responding to that customer feedback and already implementing it. This would be an image of a large map site where 3-word addresses are along the site. And it shows how, event planners and organisers can direct people to specific points of interest. Again, this is moved about, but Wembley Stadium, what can you do? Wembley Stadium used what3words in one of the maps that they built for their fans and designed to kind of drive them to specific points of interest. So, for example, they wanted to increase or maximize sales at the merchandise stores, and they had a really quick tool to just say, hey guys, head to word, and then they knew that fans and customers would kind of find those locations easily and go there. I'll keep going. One of our latest events partners that we're working with over the next few months is Hyde Park Winter Wonderland, which will be really exciting. Kind of in a similar vein to the last couple of examples I referenced, they'll also be building what3words into their event map, their event app. And as well as that, they'll also be doing a couple of kind of fun, surprising Christmassy activities at what3words locations. So if you're there before you head to the German beer tent, please look out for these. They're often quite easy to find. I did have a beautiful, somewhere in this space, there's a beautiful slide showing beautiful signs with 3-word addresses on them. And event organisers are putting 3-word addresses on their signs so that when they tell their attendees, hey, head here, there's this really cool thing happening there, their attendees can then arrive there and know they've come to the right place. And they're also proving to be very Instagrammable. So people love sharing them, and I think they're really entertained and engaged with the concept of using just 3 random words to communicate a location, which helps us a lot because it means major brands like the likes of Nissan, without even us knowing about it, are kind of using what3words to build into their kind of own consumer engagement activities. This also extends to bands, musicians, and artists. So Imagine Dragons did a kind of what3words inspired treasure hunt when they wanted to launch the name of their new album a couple of years ago. And Mumford & Sons also ran a kind of social media competition where they gave away tickets at what3words locations by kind of teasing out clues on social. Again, works really well. People are engaged. It uses the concept and it's ready to go. Anyone can kind of do a similar campaign activity like that. And again, beautiful slide showing all of the kind of cool other crazy things people are doing with three-word addresses, and that includes putting them on bracelets, putting them on wristbands, putting them on event tickets, putting them on tattoos. There's even there, it's kind of the signs. The Nissan ice cream van. These are the kind of things people are putting three-word addresses on. And there's even a couple of What 3 Words beers, super strong at 8.5%, very punchy. But it's quite cool. So the Fear movie Lions, that got its name from the exact 3-meter square where the San Diego brewery first started brewing it. And the List Loud React, which is only a couple of weeks old, it's brand new beer, from a brewer in Australia, that is named after the exact 3-meter square where bands and DJs perform sets at their kind of tap room. So it's definitely very much a beer designed to get the party started. On an ending slide, which doesn't look like how I imagined it would, I guess I will leave on quite an open-ended note, because there really is, I believe, we at What 3 Words believe there is an open end to the number of ways you can use a 3-word address. 3-word addresses are simple, they are effective, they are accurate, they are precise, they can be fun, and they can even save lives. So whether you're an event organizer, an event producer, someone working on a tech team for an event, logistics team, or just an attendee who wants to improve your own experience, I urge you to kind of have a play on the What 3 Words app, find your own 3-word address, and consider how maybe 3 words at a time you could improve an event and make it safer, more efficient, and better for everyone. Thanks.
All right, thank you very much. Let's see what questions have come from the audience. So let me start from the top one. Is What 3 Words purely two-dimensional? Can it also be used to specify height, for example, an apartment floor?
Yeah, it is purely two-dimensional, and that's because where would you stop? It would be so limitless. I think we'd be dealing with an app that no one would want to install on their phones. It would be so massive. So kind of the way we get around that, or advise people to use the app if they live in maybe the 50th floor of a big apartment building, is to just say, hey, the 3-word address for my entrance that will get you to my door quickest is word, 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 and I'm on level 5, level 6.
Okay, let's see the second question. Is there a way to customize what the 3-word location is?
Sadly not. I think we could have made a lot of money very quickly if people were able to choose the name of a 3-word address. But the words are fixed, they will never change, and that is because, like I said, it's an accessible system that everyone should be able to use, and so we've done a very thorough job of combing through the word list and removing things like offensive words or combination of words that would be offensive maybe in other cultures or in the UK, and done the same in 37 languages, so to change one word would change the whole system.
All right, and we just got one other question, and that's, what's the future for What 3 Words?
I think it's a really exciting time. It's definitely a really exciting time for the company. We are still continuing to expand really rapidly into new markets. We're continuing to do a lot of work in the automotive space and working with car companies and automakers. I think Mercedes-Benz were definitely pioneers in building in What 3 Words into their navigation system. I didn't touch upon it in this presentation, but What 3 Words is the only addressing system designed specifically for voice. So when it comes to inputting an address or an addressing information by voice, What 3 Words is the only way that you can actually do that simply and accurately, first time, kind of every time, whereas street addresses, for some of the reasons I touched upon way back at the beginning of the presentation, whether that be a duplicate street name or, you know, there are examples in the States where you've got 21st First Street. It's really difficult for a machine to understand what that means. So I think this is an area that we'll probably continue to grow into.
All right, and we just got another question. Very interesting one. What about a continental drift? Does that alter the 3-meter grid?
Really good question. I am not a geography expert. I I mean, I don't know. I don't know is the very honest answer for that. Good question. Whoever asked that, I can find out. Someone from the team who probably does have a very good answer, but I don't.
All right, that's fair. So once again, this was Alice from What3words. Thank you very much for your presentation.